What's up, everybody, and welcome to the show. My name is Art West, and today I'm excited to show you how to move data between your apps using a no-code tool. We're going to look at the.com, Zapier, and Google Sheets and show you how we can tie these all together. Okay, I'm really excited today to show you guys how we can bring in data into our the.com app from an external source. So this could be Google Sheets, it could be Airtable, or it could be really anywhere that your data lives. But today we're going to show you how to bring it in from Google Sheets to the.com. So we've set up a basic employee directory here on our site builder, but we might have our employees living in another place. More often than not, maybe somebody in HR doesn't have access to the website, but we still want them to be able to effectively make updates to the website remotely. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to hop over to Google Sheets. We've set up a basic sheet here, which is where the HR manager would theoretically update employee information. So what we want to do is we want to set up some basic fields that mirror the fields that we have on our website here. So if we go over to our sheet, which is our database in the.com, we have name, title, and then the picture. So that will be sufficient here. We'll do the same thing. We'll do name, title, and then we'll do pic. For the sake of example, we'll just say Jane Doe, title, CMO. And then for picture, we're actually just going to take a stock image here. But of course, for a real employee, you would have their picture, but we'll just use the stock image for example. So we've got some basic information for our new employee. Of course, if you have 100 employees, you could put them all in here, and then we will show you how to send these updates to our site. So we've got the site here, and within the database portion of the site, which is sheet, if you haven't used the.com before, these tabs at the bottom, which are really easy to navigate between sort of the builder, the worksheet, or any other parts of the application. So within the database portion of this, we have this little button down here that links us to Zapier. Zapier is just a no-code tool that connects APIs together. So we're going to connect the Google Sheets API with the the.com builder API. So we'll go ahead and click Zapier. Now they have a bunch of pre-built workflows here that are pretty common and that they see a lot, which is really nice because it guides you or gives you some ideas. You can also create a Zap from scratch. And one thing I want to point out here is there's this option to auto deploy the site when receiving updates from Zapier. This is awesome. So effectively what this would allow you to do as the website manager or builder is to say, hey, whenever the HR manager adds a new employee, when that trigger happens, the site will actually republish so those changes are live. Of course, you want to be careful, make sure that, everybody is comfortable with this, but this is a really cool way to take out an extra step of publishing or having to go into publish every time there's a new change. And if you're working with live data, if the data is good in this instance, on the Google Sheets side, then you're good to go and you can auto publish. So just a really cool tool. A really cool feature. We're not going to, use that today, but just know that it's there. And I think a lot of people will be really excited about this. So we're going to use this pre-built flow because we know we're going from Google Sheets to the.com. So we're just going to go ahead and click the add button here. And this is just going to go ahead and start this workflow. I really like how this opens like in a light box, makes it really easy to use. You don't have to even go to another site at all. So we're just going to go ahead and click Google Sheets and then hit next. So what this is going to do is it's going to look at all of our Google Sheets. We're going to choose the.com. We're going to hit next. We're going to choose sheet 1. That is just the name of this sheet 1. If this sheet had a different name, it would show that name there, but we'll go ahead and just choose sheet 1. Okay. So this is the trigger column. Essentially, it's asking what should we look to be changed? Should it be the name, title, or pic, or just any column? We just want it to be any column. So anytime there's like a new row, we're going to have this trigger happen. So it's going to go ahead and get data from Google Sheets. And we're going to choose this connection here. I've already connected this, but if you haven't, it's just like a one-click connect. It's super easy. We'll let this spin up. We'll go ahead and click next. Okay, so it gives you two types of operations here. You can either create or update or create. In this case, for this example, we just want to create a new row in our database when something new comes on Google Sheets. So we'll go ahead and click create. Okay, so I have a lot of sites here on the.com, the one that I'm working on right now. And these are just like names that are auto-generated. They're awesome, but we're going to choose this site. You would be able to map your workflows to different sites if you had lots of different workflows, of course, which is really cool. This here sheet is just the name of our database. You can't really see it down here, but if our database name was employees, then this would say employees. I just kept it as the default name of sheet. So that's what we have here. So we're going to map our data from Google Sheets to this sheet database. Okay, this is just spinning up. This is where it gets pretty cool. This is where you just map the fields. And because they're in the same order, they've already mapped correctly. So we're going to want to take the Google Sheets name and map it to the name field in our the.com title pick. So that's perfect. Everything is in order there. So we can go ahead and click next. So this step is essentially just saying, let's do a test to make sure that this works and all of our data is being synced correctly. And you get like a little preview of what's happening here. So we have names, Jane Doe, title, CMO, and then the pick is this link out to this stock image on Pexels. Again, this is just this data that we just entered here a few minutes ago. So let's go ahead and send the test. It says it's sending. Give it a minute here. These sometimes can take a minute, but there we go. We got a confirmation. Check your the.com account to view it. Okay, great. Next. So the final step here is we can actually turn this on. So this will effectively work going forward on an ongoing basis as new items are added to our Google spreadsheet. So let's go ahead and turn on this app. Once we turn this on, I would imagine that this little light box is going to go away. Let's wait and see. Looks like it's still working. Okay, your Zap is on. So let's just try to click out of here. Perfect. And we can actually test this. Let's just do this again. Let's just do Jane Doe, CTO, and then we'll just drag this down to create a new row. We'll go ahead and click save. Let's go back to our employee cards. Okay, great. Let's go back to the sheet. And we might have to wait a minute here for this to actually run and show up. But let's just see here if we can give it a second and allow it to show up. But what essentially happens is every few minutes, the Zapier app that we just set up will run automatically and it'll look for changes in our Google Sheet. So whenever it finds those changes, it'll then just push these changes through to this database that we're looking at here. So that's why there's sometimes a little bit of a delay, but rest assured this data will come through automatically at some point here in the near future. I'm going to go ahead and just save it just to see if we can get it to come through right here in this demo. Okay, and sure enough, it came through. And if we go back to our site, there we go. We can see that the image has populated automatically. We have Jane Doe and we have CMO. So this data was updated from this Google Sheet to our database in a no-code workflow. So again, this makes it really easy to connect the person that's working on a website with the non-technical person using Google Sheets or something like that. Beyond that, a lot of times we just have our data in different places. So this makes it really easy to connect everything together in a totally no-code workflow. Thanks for watching.